Hi, my name is Adadakinda, and my sister's name is Omi. We are both princesses of the Helm tribe. I do not know where I was born or what year I was born because when you were a slave, you don't remember little things. But before I became a slave, my father was making my sister, Omi, get married to a young prince named King. My sister never liked Kama, not even as a friend. But when she became a slave, she would never let Kama go. My father said that I was too young to get married. I was 13. But my Omi was 17 years old. And my dad said she was the perfect age to get married. Even though Omi thought different. I would never forget the day they took me away from my homeland. It started like a normal day, but then turned to black. I was with Omi and Kama that day. We were greeting the townspeople. But then, all of a sudden, we heard gunshots, screaming. We tried running. We ran, but the white man took us. We were pushed and shoved into wood-like cages, cramped. There was no space for anything to do. I didn't know what was going on, so I started to cry. But then, my sister, Omi, started, "Akinda, stop it. You are the Princess of Helm. You are better than the white man, and Daddy will come for us. Don't worry about it." I continued to cry for another 5 minutes or so, and then I fell asleep. In the morning, all I could hear was the coast of Helm. We stayed on the coast for about a week or so. I am not sure. I was thinking about other things at that time. But what I do remember is the song that Omi would sing to me every night. Tora, Lora, Lora. Tora, Lora, lie. Hush, my little baby. Now don't you cry. Then one day, when the tides were calm, a giant ship came to shore. It made noise that was ear-blooding pain. Omi started screaming because of the noise. Then the white man grabbed my sister's arms and slapped her in her face. Then they opened our cage and started pulling everyone out of the cage one by one. They were putting silver chains on several chains on everyone's arms and legs, then putting them into the ship. When I got into the ship, it was dark. There was only a peak of light showing. Then the white men were screaming something, but I couldn't understand it. Next, they started whipping people with those rope things. They whipped Omi 5 times before they whipped me. They shoved Omi into a wooden shelf and locked her feet down to the shelf. Omi started screaming my name over and over again. They whipped her feet so she stopped. Then they did the same thing to me. It hurt like hell, but I didn't say anything. I didn't know what was happening or where I was going, but I didn't care. I just wanted Omi and Kama to be safe. A couple weeks after we got on the ship, there was throw up everywhere. The smell of it was like a dead animal that had been decomposed for 2 days. The white man said words with a bright red face, whipping our hands and feet because of the smell. and the throw up, I'm pretty sure of. It might have been something else, but I could care less. The next day, the ship's captain ordered his white men to take a section of women on the deck. It so happens that me and Omi that were in the section. So when they took us on the deck, I could barely stand up. It felt like walking on sharp wooden knives. Plus, our feet were bloody. They were bleeding so bad, I couldn't tell if my feet were the same color as my face. Omi told me she was going to jump overboard and swim home, but even I knew that was impossible, but I let her finish. They made us dance on the deck. So, if you weren't dancing, you get whipped. Omi chose not to dance, so they whipped her and slapped her. I started to cry, so they slapped me too. After 20 minutes, they pushed us back down the stairs to the bottom of the ship. They locked our feet down to the board again, so we wouldn't try running away. They would do this every 2 weeks or so. We would get exercise. A couple months after we got on the ship, 100 would die at the end of the week. Omi was one that died. She was one of the first to die. I cried for months, knowing that Omi wasn't here anymore. I wanted to die so badly, but I didn't. I tried. I didn't try to die. I kept on living for Omi and Keima. The day began strong, with hot beaming suns that felt like you were going to melt. The captain ordered his white men to take everyone on the top of the ship. The deck was so hot, I think it was hotter than hell. It hurt so bad that everyone started jumping up and down on the deck. It didn't make the pain go away, but it was better than just standing on the deck. The white man started laughing and whipping at us. I fell to the ground. And then I got up and I looked at the land. It was like I was reborn in a new world. There were white people everywhere with fancy clothes, curls in their brown, blonde, and red hair. I was in shock. I didn't speak. They started pushing us off the ship into these little boats, I think, and it slowly moved ashore. I was shaking so hard that the little boat. I thought the little boat was going to tip over. I was scared. Scared that I was scared of what was going to happen to me and Keima. I didn't want Keima to get hurt. When we got ashore, we were put in these giant castles with bars. That night, I didn't leave Keima's side, just like Omi when she became a slave. The next morning, the white man got us out of our cages, then lined us up to fix us up. When it was my turn, they put hot black paste on my back. It felt like sticking your hand in a fire and leaving it in there for 5 whole minutes. After that was finished, you would get put back in your cage. Then after that, we were put on stage, and the man talked fast. And I was the third one to be put on a stage. I was bought by a man named William Aarons. He renamed me Alice. I don't know what Alice means or where it came from. But now, my name is Alice. And this is my story.